All right, guys, here's my review of the OneTigris camping quilt. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty compact, very small, fits in your backpack nicely. You can actually cinch this thing down quite a bit. You know, as you can see here, I can really cinch this thing down if you wanted to. Just, you know, pull it on there, crank those things down. I don't like storing it like that. I like to keep the loft as much as I can. But anyways, it is possible to do that. But the OneTigris fits in this one pack. Kind of the only sleeping system or sleeping quilts you'll need if you're in lighter conditions. I would not use this in the winter. I would be borderline using this in the fall. I think it'd probably be comfortable roughly like 50, 60 degrees in that neighborhood. I'm a bigger guy, you know, so I don't need as much warmth, but it works. It gets the job done. Super budget friendly. I'll have a link down in the video description on Amazon here. I don't even know how much it was. It was less than 60 bucks. So pretty cheap for what you get. You have the stats here. You know, it's rated from 5 Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. I think you're going to be closer to that 20, at least for comfortability. Fill weight, you know, pretty good. Breathable, all that stuff. But let's pull it out here so you guys can see it. How easy this is. So I just stuff it in here. I don't even roll it up. I just stuff it in the sack. But, you know, it comes out pretty big here. You got the full-size quilt. So the reason why it's a quilt here is it's only fully enclosed on this back half where your feet go. Keeps your feet nice and toasty, but the top is all open. So you don't have to worry about, you know, having your wasted space. I find this more comfortable too because I'm a stomach sleeper, so you can kind of get a little more comfortable. You can spread eagle a little bit more. You can lay way out wide a little bit better than you can in a sleeping pad. You're so confined. This, you're not as much. If you do want to strap it shut, it does come with these loops and Velcro, which you can strap like this and turn it into more of a sleeping bag so it doesn't come apart on you. That is an option. I don't typically do that. However, in the night, I have kicked it up a little bit. Let's all your heat out. It does get a little chilly, so not the worst idea to do that. But, you know, no zipper on here. Pretty light, pretty compact, pretty comfortable. It is warm enough, I think, for a lot of situations. I wouldn't use this in the winter. However, I would consider taking this one along with another bag of some sorts. This would go very well over a bag. If you have a warm sleeping bag, you can put this on top. Because it's a quilt, it will spread out nice and, you know, utilize that way. So, like I said, guys, I recommend it, the OneTigris camping bag. We'll just fold it up here, stuff this thing back in the sack as I keep talking. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in this, like I said, link's gonna be down in the description. It is pretty easy to pack up at night too, or when you're done. I usually just stuff it straight back in the sack. I don't roll it up or nothing usually. I just kind of shove this thing in here. Fits in here nice. And it seems like it's built of pretty good quality for a budget quilt. Obviously there's probably better ones on the market, but if you don't necessarily want the better ones because they're heavier, right? They're bigger and they're heavier. Sometimes you just want the smaller one. Also, what I found this thing is really useful for is if you're going on like an indoor trip and you need a sleeping bag. So like let's just say your family got an Airbnb and you need to sleep on the floor for that trip. I take this thing. It's way smaller than a big sleeping bag. It's way lighter and it's plenty warm for indoors. I mean, and since it's a quilt, you can expand it, let some of your heat out, a little better for temperature regulation as opposed to like a full-on sleeping bag or even blankets. Works great for that. So anyways, guys, that's the OneTigris sleeping quilt. Can't recommend it enough. This is what I use personally. I would definitely recommend a better one if you're going to go real cold, but if you're in the summer for sure, maybe into the fall a little bit, you might want to bring some extra layers to wear under it, but if you're in the summer, I would recommend the sleeping quilt, especially for a budget option. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And anyways.